What are you... okay.
So Alan Murray from University of the West of Scotland. You and I are going to have a little chat about the sales process. First of all, we're going to talk a wee bit about the opening statement. And I had a little explanation to the viewers about what an opening statement should look like, and then we're going to have a conversation about that, just to understand it a bit more. So the opening statement, we would be looking for identification of who you are, what your company is or your product is, and the purpose of the conversation you're having with the prospect, and then you're having some kind of lead question. So tell me about your experiences of what an opening statement should sound like.
Okay, my background's in business support, so a lot of the interactions I would have with people would be either face-to-face for the first time or over the phone, but the principle's still the same as you've identified. What you're really looking to do is, if you're going in cold, you're looking to very quickly build rapport and try and encourage the other party to engage with you at some level, and that might just be to get you to listen to what they have to say, and that might be in the form of a sort of fairly subtle pitch. So there's some conventions there that we need to think about, and obviously what you're looking to really do is be clear about what you want to get from that conversation, and if they haven't got time for you, maybe follow up on that later on. So you're looking for something tangible from the interaction. All
right. So the lead question then, how important do you think that lead question is?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all consumers, so I think we're probably all fairly streetwise and savvy in terms of recognising a leading question or a good opening question or a hook when we hear one. So the trick is to try and make it come across in a way that's not cheesy or stilted or artificial. That allows you to sort of step into the room. You're really looking for them to sort of open the door a little bit so that you can step into the room. And the way you try and make that happen is through this sort of leading question. So it takes a lot of practice. Some people are better at it than others. I don't view myself as a natural networker, but I've kind of learned over time that there are techniques that you can use. You've talked about a lot of them that will help you get a better outcome. That's really what we're talking about.
Okay. And then with that lead question, I've always thought that you're trying to encourage further conversation, and you're trying to use that question to identify a potential need, which would then take you on to the next stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a process there. You're trying to move the customer, if you will, along the various stages of the process to get to, in effect, to get them to close a sale. And that's quite difficult to do. But if you've got a better understanding of the process, you've got a better chance of getting what you want. You just need to be clear about what you want to get from it, whether it's, well, can I come in and meet you, or can we maybe work on a project together? And you need to be realistic about what you can achieve if you're going in cold and you don't actually know the person.
Right. So once you've gone through that good, successful opening statement, and you are then in a conversation with a client or prospect, you're into the information gathering stage, you're into the problem identification stage. What are the key things that you're kind of looking for in the salesperson to be able to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think people who are very good at closing sales tend to be very good at reading people. So if you understand the points of pain of the customer, then you're in a position to maybe suggest ways in which you can solve that pain. So what you're actually looking to do is you're getting signals from the person all the time. What you're trying to do is say, well, wait a minute here, are they sending me messages here that they're interested in buying? So it's really about reading the people. Now, that can be quite difficult if the conversation's taking place over the phone, or if you're dealing with somebody from a different culture. So the conventional norms that we all use might be quite different for the person you're speaking to. But again, there's a process that you can follow. What you're really looking to do is try and see if they're open to actually letting you into the room.
All right. And then within those questions that you're asking them, what kind of form do they take?
Okay, if you're actually trying to get somebody to buy something from you, and the sale, closing the sale might involve nothing more than them arranging to meet you so that you can give them a fuller pitch. What you're really looking to do in your questions is extract from them some insight or some meaning that will allow you to see openings and opportunities that you can then exploit. So it's no different from a traditional sale. What you're really looking to do is say, what's the problem? what's the opportunity? The opportunity is usually for you to offer a solution. And what is the nature of that solution? How does it actually solve the problem that you've identified? And actually getting that point across, again, is quite challenging. You might only have 10 seconds in a meeting to get someone's attention and capture their interest. So obviously that takes into realms of things like hooks and how you can actually get a hook in quite quickly. And we can talk about that again.
All right. And then if you had to say at that stage of the process, in just some brief words, what would be the top 3 things that you would need as a salesperson to have in order to be successful at that stage?
I think if you take the time to actually get to know the potential customer before you actually go in, you've got a much better chance. You're not just going in cold, because we're approached all the time. So I think having an ability and a desire to actually research the individual you're trying to sell to, I think that's quite powerful. Again, this ability to read people and pick up signals which aren't always obvious. A lot of them are in terms of the body language. And sometimes it's about as much as what they don't say as what they do say that might give you the way in. So the ability to sort of read people. And thirdly, this ability to just build rapport or quick rapport with people. Salespeople, good salespeople tend to just have that. It's just a factor of who they are. And we probably all can think of examples of people like that. So these are maybe the 3 things that, assuming you've got a good product, might help you actually create sales opportunities and actually maybe close them.
All right, okay. So there's a lot of people skills there, isn't there?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, a lot of sort of, in the field of enterprise, we talk a lot about interpersonal skills, and these are the sort of touchy-feely things that we all have to some extent, but some people have in abundance, and some people really need to think about how they develop them in order to be better salespeople. And we're selling all the time. It's not just selling a tangible product, it's actually selling ourselves, whether it's in the form of a job interview or working with a partner agency to sort of help you achieve your outcomes. So these are all sales opportunities, it's no different.
Great. So after you've gone through a successful information gathering stage, you've got lots of info about a particular need or problem that a prospect might have, and then you're moving on to the next stage, which would be the demonstration or presentation of your own product or services. So what do you think about that? What are you looking for in a good salesperson?
Okay, I mean, in terms of that side, and we tend to think in terms of actually just making a pitch then, and there's lots of things that you need to think about there in terms of you need to understand who you're pitching to, you need to understand what the USPs or the unique selling propositions of your product actually are. You need to be able to argue that the product you've got provides a solution that they are looking for. And I think the mistake that a lot of people make is to think that people and businesses actually sell things. They don't really. What they're actually doing is encouraging people to buy things. It's not really the same thing. If somebody doesn't want the product at all, it's very, very difficult to make a sale. If they're interested in buying something and your product is a potential solution, then you're almost pushing against an open door. You just have to convince them not to buy the product, just that your product's better than the other products that are out there.
Right. So
these are things that I think, the sort of subtle things that your interpersonal skills can help you actually pick up the clues from the person that you're actually trying to sell to, that they're interested, or you need to maybe go up a gear a bit, and that's quite difficult too.
Okay, so let's just have a think about that then. So the opening statement, I'm Brian McEwen, I'm from Bridge to Business, this is the service that we provide. Would you like to learn a little bit more about that? Some sort of lead positive response that you're looking for from that as an opening statement. The information gathering stage, lots of listening, lots of understanding what a particular client's needs are, finding out what that problem is, so that you're then using all that kind of knowledge that you've got that's going to be useful for the third stage, which is going to be, right, this is what I've got, this is my presentation of my USPs, unique selling points, my features, advantages and benefits that are going to list, that are going to meet all of your list of problems that you've identified in the previous stage. So in a nutshell, that part of it, the first half of the sales process, that's pretty much what you're looking for? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, in fairness, while we both know that you're trying to sell something, and that sale might involve maybe us meeting up to see if there's more work we can do together, you give off a good vibe. It's quite relaxed. It's quite chilled out. It's not aggressive and forceful, because generally people tend to back off from that kind of approach, and it doesn't actually feel like a pitch at all, even though it is. And in a very, very short space of time, you're starting to think, well, okay, you're giving off a good vibe. It's quite laid back. You know, it's not a hard sell. Yeah, it's okay. He's only told me what he wants. He's only looking for an opportunity to maybe get together over a cup of coffee. It's informal. It's quite relaxed. So already I'm starting to think, yeah, okay, yeah, I can spare a bit of time. I might make you come to me, but I'm already starting to give you buying signals there. I'm still listening. Sure. I'm in the room. I'm still listening. Okay,
so it's, the process I would like to see from our viewers now is to try and get them to put all of those 3 stages together. Maybe have a role play scenario with a friend of theirs or a potential customer. Put that on the Facebook page, and we'd love to see those and think about how well you've developed in terms of your own selling skills for the first 3 stages. Thanks, Alan.